A 40-year-old suspect named Robert Card remains at large after a killing spree that wiped out more than a dozen people. Hundreds of police and other law enforcement officials are hunting for the alleged killer. He's reportedly a trained firearms instructor, a member of the US Army Reserve, who recently reported that he had mental health issues, including hearing voices. Law enforcement posted pictures of the bearded individual on social media holding a semi-automatic assault rifle in a firing position. The governor of Maine called it a dark day for the state.
Maine State Police have issued a shelter-in-place order for Lewiston, Lisbon, and Bowdoin as the manhunt for that person of interest, Robert Card of Bowdoin, continues. I will let law enforcement speak to the ongoing manhunt and to their investigation, but Mr. Card is considered armed and dangerous, and police advise that Maine people should not approach him under any circumstances. I ask Maine people to join me in offering our comfort to the families and friends who have lost someone, and in offering our prayers for swift recovery for those who are healing in Maine's hospitals today.
President Biden urged Congress, particularly Republican lawmakers, to pass legislation banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, to enact universal background checks, require the safe storage of guns, and to end immunity from liability for gun manufacturers.
We saw another tragic shooting that has taken at least 18 lives, injured many others, and left countless people in grief, shock, and trauma. As the President said in a statement earlier today, he and the First Lady are praying for the victims and their families, for those still fighting for their lives, and for the families, survivors, and community members reeling from this latest act of gun violence. The House has a new speaker who he said he's ready to get to work and to find common ground. Now is the time. Now is the time to find common ground.
As the current investigation fans out across the state of Maine.
The investigation into the person responsible for this identified a vehicle located at the Pejebscott boat landing in Lisbon. That person, through the registration of that vehicle, was identified, it's been stated earlier, as a Robert Card, born in 1983. Several of the deceased have been identified, and their families, next of kin, have been notified. Approximately 8 people at this point have been identified. 10 of these victims still need to be identified at this time. Currently, there is an arrest warrant for 8 counts of murder for Mr. Card. And the reason it's 8 counts because 10 people have not yet been identified. As those people are identified, the counts will probably go to the total of 18. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Based on our investigation, we believe this is someone that should not be approached.
This is reportedly the 36th mass killing in the United States this year alone. As the manhunt continues, schools and some businesses in the region have been closed, while many communities now have shelter-in-place orders. Shervin Briceby's SABC News, New York.